I believe it is in the national interest that I carry out the events of this morning, the takeover of the government.
Chiefs, soldiers and coups have been the dominant features of Fiji since 1987, after the first indigenous and military uprising against what was seen as a government that was too sympathetic to the Indian population of Fiji. Then in 2000, the government of Mahendra Chaudhry, the first Prime Minister of Indian ethnicity, was deposed. Chaudhry and his government were held hostage for 56 days, while Indo-Fijians, then almost half the population, were viciously attacked in the remote rural areas.
And the Fijian people take the knife and chase that son. And 3 days we stay in the bush.
Houses were burnt, businesses looted, men beaten and women raped. Many of those whose homes survived were given just 30 days to vacate farms where their families had been for a century.
All double B.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, pretty solid. Because I was trying to fight with a hurricane, but I never thought about this. Then
it was into this environment that Commodore Frank Bainimarama entered the national stage. As army commander, he arrested the coup makers and restored a civilian government.
Were you aware, as the chief investigator into the events of 2000, that the year before, in 1999, the then head of the nationalist movement, Sakyusa Butondroka, had asked Frank Bainimarama to carry out a coup then?
No, I wasn't aware of that.
Yes, he did.
He did?
Yes. It was a day after the Labour government was sworn in, and he turned up in my office. But it was basically to come and tell me to remove the Chaudhry government. And I said that was not going to happen.
The nationalists are saying they will never accept an Indian Prime Minister.
That's what the nationalists said. Now, remember what
will you accept an Indian Prime Minister?
We will accept anyone.
Frank Bainimarama is possibly on his way to a convincing electoral victory.
We have a constitution to run with.
And this little blue book, his new constitution, is likely to be the key to his success.
All Fijians, for the first time in their history,
it's offering something that no previous Fijian government ever has: the abolition of race in the electoral and government system.
One vote, one value.
Many in this crowd will no longer be branded as Indo-Fijians. Their title and status now is simply Fijian. And that is buying a lot of support for the strongman of the Pacific.
I have not heard of any other leader or prime minister that has come forward like you have and has brought equality and freedom to Fiji.
Colourblind constitution.
If you're going to have political parties that are going to contest the elections based on religion, ethnicity, denomination, how will they be as a government?
The abolition of racial distinctions in parliamentary seats, in government jobs, scholarships and housing has shaken the cornerstones of Fijian politics.
Do you say, yeah, I want to know what race the CEO is? I want to know what race the chairman is? No.
Drawing Indians away from their traditional parties, as well as many urban indigenous Fijians.
You want water in the tap.
Don't think they know. How could they know? Don't think they know the truth. Say so. Don't think they know. How could they know? Don't listen to. How could they know?
On August the 1st, 1994, Sophia gave birth to her first child, a son she called Philomene. For a native Fijian, he had surprisingly dark skin and straight hair, but Sophia put it down to an inheritance from his grandfather. The birth of a light-skinned child on the same day at the same hospital to an ethnic Indian family caused considerable upset. Farida's cane farmer husband accused her of sleeping with a Fijian and treated her cruelly because of it. Of course, it was a hospital mix-up. But now it's been discovered, Farida doesn't want to give up the Fijian boy that she suckled and loves as a son.
हम पाल लिया, अपन जान के पाला है, बहुत दुख काट के लड़का पाला है, और हम इसका नहीं सकते दे।
Don't think they know the truth. Say so. Don't think they know. How could they know? Don't listen to.
Kena lesu ma kisana suleles mena lo ena mosi yo ena ubokilanga ni singindula lengana tabi ko ambatino ko sa lesu na Valentina vitamana kitinana eron lo mani ko tala.
What's enlightening for an outsider about this remarkable story of mistaken identity is the patience and the tolerance with which the two families, one Fijian and one ethnic Indian, have treated each other during such a difficult time. You see, the race card, tensions between the communities, the question of who owns Fiji, have been used as an excuse and a reason for a coup, for a change in the constitution, and for a government that is anything but democratic. And yet speak to the two mothers, Sophia and Farida, and they'll tell you that the race issue is a nonsense.
Okay, toma na kita ki. Iran tuin ana bakasama ni
Don't think they know. How could they know? Don't listen to. How could they know what people say? How could they know? They don't know about you and me, baby. About you and me, baby. How could they know?